Well, hello everyone again. I'm Bill Brenner from CyberRisk Alliance and Security Weekly, and we're continuing our coverage from Black Hat 2023. And I'm pleased to be here with Richard Yu, Senior Director of Product Management Security at Edgio. Welcome.
Thanks for having me here, Bill.
How's your week so far?
It was great. Busy week. Met a lot of people, a lot of great folks at the conference.
Very good. So let's dive right in. So let's start, if you can, walk me through what you see as the most important trends right now in API security, and what you think the biggest challenges are for online businesses in that area today.
Yep, absolutely. When it comes to API, I would like to tell people, our world nowadays runs on API. If you have a phone, most of your API runs, like most of your applications runs on API. If you have an IoT at home, which, I mean, who knows, your coffee pot most likely runs on API. I mean,
Yep.
hey, there's a HTTP status code just for the teapot, right? But what the most important trend, when it comes to API security, I would say is definitely on the visibility and visualization part. As we always say, you can't really defeat anything that you can't see, right? When it comes to threat. So this is really something that has become more and more important for a lot of the organization we spoke with, especially for the lack of the visibility of like what kind of zombie API that's out there in the system.
Yeah, we did some research a few months back on third-party risks, and what you just said is exactly what a majority of survey respondents came back with. It's all about the visibility. So many APIs are created
Right.
just during the course of the day, doing business and working with third-party systems, that how do you keep track of them all?
Right.
So with that said, you've mentioned in the past, you've talked about being holistic with your solutions. And so, but talk about how it's different from point solutions as people are familiar with them today.
Right. So I'll first like to kind of like let's define that, right? So when we say point solutions, we usually means a specific capability that is designed to deal with a specific problem. Now that by itself is actually great. When you have specific problems and all you need to just solve that problems, it's actually perfect, right? However, when it comes to securities, things aren't often that easy. Especially, let's say you look at API issues, you can look at botnet issue. Sometimes we need to have a multiple layers of solutions that actually work together, to help solve that problems for the customers, for our users, right? And this speaks to the concept defense in depth. I know it's probably a buzzword by now, but it's very important to understand that defense in depth, the concept of defense in depth, is that no single layer of specific solutions should be considered a silver bullet to solve a particular issues, right? So when you deal with a particular issues, you want to make sure that you have multiple layers of, say, like let's say even with DDoS protections, you can actually utilize specialized DDoS mitigation solutions with firewall, for example, to actually provide. It's all about reducing the numbers and the probability of breach by having each layers serve as the filters, right, to manage the risks.
Yep. So let's talk about the value proposition of the edgeo approach. So walk me through what you see as the pillars and how it fits together.
Right. So what we usually do, like I like to generally describe that using like the NIST framework, but I'm going to simplify that, right? Obviously in a lot of organizations they focus on prevention. Like a lot of like NIST framework, there's prevention, right? But we see that we want to help customers, not just bolster the preventions, but also provides them the capability to respond, right? Well, you have detect and response. You want to provide the ability to detect and respond because there are things like 0 days. I mean, as much of prevention that you put in, right? You're still gonna have to react very quickly. What Edgio do, it's like through our holistic security, right? We aim to actually help customers, like increase their mean time to response, as well as like we call it time to mitigate, times to resolutions on any issues by providing the solutions, the capability, and the services to really help them close their gap when it comes to like the ability to have visibility when it comes to detection, as well as the ability to respond to any issues.
Yeah. So you've answered some of this already, but just for the sake of getting more and more specific, the trend in the industry is to consolidate solutions, technologies, but how do enterprises know what to do next in terms of architecting a more streamlined cybersecurity infrastructure and connect that with where Edgio comes in?
Absolutely. So this ties to probably the first questions you have is the difference between a point solutions and a holistic solutions. Because what we find with working with a lot of organizations is that they're having to stitch together a lot of solutions, not just from a like security perspective, but also on the performance like perspective. It's that, and that generally generated a lot of what we call NFR, non-functional requirement. Like, well, in order to improve your performance, in order to improve your security, you also have to worry about how scalable this is. Is this going to cause a single point of failure? I have to spend like 2-3x the amount of time trying to work on a failback policy, etc. What we try to advocate for a customer is to like have a seamless way to use a platform that just natively stitch all of this together. So imagine if you can run your API security, your DDoS protection, your bot defense, all within one software stack, within a platform. Would you rather run it across 3 different separate proxy where you pass traffic from one to another? So this is where we come in. This is where we help our customers enhance their efficiency while trying to achieve and improve their security posture. And by doing that, you also you technically reduce the surface area. By doing that, you actually reduce the risk, right, of unnecessary availability issues, and part of the CIA triad.
Very good. So with the market moving towards edge security to protect web applications, what are some of the different components? Zero trust is something that gets thrown around a lot, but let's talk about other things. Talk about what you see as the essential components, and from there, if you are the potential customer coming to Edgio and you're really trying to get a fix on whether this fits for your environment, and I'm speaking as the customer who's starting to think through these things, what are the big questions that they should be coming to you and asking to get to that answer of how Edgio can fit into my unique environment?
Right. So, so I generally expect a few questions from customers. So from, first of all, the ease of implementations. I strongly believe that a good security systems needs to be easy to use. A secure solutions is easy to use. People are generally lazy.
Yeah.
If you have to jump through hoops to make yourself secure, there's less probability of you doing that. Customers generally also concerned, hey, is this gonna cause additional issues from form of reliability and performance? Now that's very important, right? We always like to tell our customers, right? There's technically no such thing as 100% security. Honestly, like that's not something that will guarantee, and anyone can guarantee, because to me, 100% security means 0% functionality. I didn't come up with that. I stole it from the great Dr. Eric Cole.
Yes.
So one of the things that we always have to strike a balance, right? We want to improve security, but customers also concerned that you want to do it while actually making your site faster, and actually, so you don't actually have to pay the performance cost.
Make the site faster and stay out of the user's way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. The UX is very important. So how do you actually secure customers while actually making them faster, not just in the performance, but also making customers teams work faster, improve their team velocity. This is why Edgio, when it comes to Edgio application platform, we pride ourselves for like helping customers around these three pillars: performance, security, and developer velocity. Everything we try to do is to ensure that things are easy to use and you get the added benefits of improving performance. And this applies to all of the security features that we have today, and also any new like additional like capability, like such as zero trust access, that we might be adding onto our platform in the future.
Perfect. Well, I wish you much success this week as we go through. We're at Wednesday right now,
Yeah.
so as we go through the week, I hope you have a lot of great conversations with clients and prospects. And thanks for coming on.
All right. Thanks for having me here. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.